This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. We've mentioned this before in getting together here about trauma and how we all deal with it. We've all got it, whether you're aware of it, whether you want to admit it. Majority goes back to our childhoods, and it's actually piloting the way you act as an adult. It's like that program from your PC, your computer, just running in the background. You're not even aware of it. Your subconscious. We're going to talk about trauma healing today, some of the different ways to get that done. It's all about being holistic, and that's what they approach it as at a wonderful center, a mental health facility that really focuses on your body, mind, and also your spirit. It's called Metamorphosis Healing Center in Louisiana, and Lindsay Dugas is back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Glad to be back today.
Good to have you back here. And I know that you approach trauma healing a number of different ways. Which one do you want to look at today?
Let's talk about frequency healing.
So I have an idea of what that is.
Okay.
It's not the frequency of the healing.
Right.
Or how many times you have a session with somebody
Correct.
like yourself. Yeah. We're talking about frequency as in sound, as in vibration, right?
Yep. That's exactly what it is. So different energy centers throughout the body require different frequencies. And so when you have, let's say your body's kind of like an instrument, so to speak, and when you have an instrument that is out of tune, everything is not playing in harmony. So what I like to do is utilize different tools depending on the person, and incorporate different frequencies for what that person needs.
I never thought of it that way, as the body being an instrument, because it detects frequency. And it's almost the same way as if, trying to give a good example here, even if you had a guitar in front of you, you have the guitar strings, and there's a noise made nearby, you'll feel it vibrate on the strings of the guitar. It's picking up on the vibration of whatever it was. It could have been another instrument. It could have been just a noise, whatever it is. It could have been a truck going by. You'll feel it vibrating on the strings of the guitar. So that almost sounds as what's going on within our bodies, picking up vibration around us.
Absolutely. Well, we are all frequency. We emit a frequency. Our bodies absorb frequencies. We have our aura and our magnetic field around us, which is also going to emit and absorb different frequencies. So each person's a little different. Each person's needs are a little different.
Everything, when you think about it, really go a little bit deep here. Everything is frequency, right down to, going to get geeky here, hang on.
Go ahead.
Right down to the electrical outlet in your wall, which is alternating current. That's how a vibration is created. But its frequency is 60 hertz. It actually has a frequency. Sometimes it varies between 50 and 60 hertz. And actually your monitor on your computer is set up to absorb that frequency. If I go to make adjustments right now on my monitor, it'll say 50 or 60 hertz, because it depends on the frequency. Everything. Play some music. How are you hearing it? It's vibrating at a frequency, and that vibration is being picked up by the little hairs in your ear and then transmitted to your brain. Everything is frequency.
Everything is frequency. Everything is frequency. Our biofield is full of frequencies. And so as we interact with each other, we are essentially exchanging frequencies, exchanging energy.
We will never be able to vibrate at the same frequency as somebody else, right?
Correct.
It's just physically impossible. Anything's possible.
Anything's possible. But no, we all have our own vibration and our own authentic frequency that we should resonate at.
And just to break this down to basics, higher frequencies are more positive, lower frequencies are negative.
Yeah.
Basically speaking. In a given day, is our frequency that we emit as humans, all over the place. Like it's like a roller coaster.
Absolutely, because I mean, as we interact and as I said, energy exchange with different people, our vibration is going to change. So when you're surrounded by lots of high vibing people, your energy and your vibration is going to raise. It's like the saying, we are the company we keep. That is true. If you're hanging around a lot of people who have a lot of negative mindset and a lot of negative energy around them, you're going to kind of pick some of that up. So it's up to you to determine what you want to hold on to and what you want to let go of. So yeah, we're absolutely changing our vibration and our frequency throughout each and every day.
What mostly makes that change? Is it our environment, how we interpret our environment?
I think it's a lot of different things. I mean, are you going outside and getting sun? That's going to change your frequency. Are you going outside walking barefoot on the ground? That's going to also change your frequency. Your environment is definitely one of them. The people you hang out with, the foods you eat, the things you drink, your diet of what you're consuming. And I don't necessarily mean just food diet, but what are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you actually engaging in? All of those things are going to have an effect on our frequency.
Would you say the goal here is to vibrate as high as possible?
As high as you can get. Absolutely. The goal is to basically make it to the heart chakra. That's the bridge between your lower and your higher chakras. And so when you can create that bridge between the two, your energy flows through the body a lot freer, a lot clearer.
So we identify what frequency is that we are in. It's all there. How do you help somebody heal addressing their frequency?
So I use different sound tools and everybody's different. We've said that several times. So depending on the person, not everybody can take the high intense sound of like sound bowls, like crystal sound bowls. Some people, it takes a super intense instrument like the gong to allow them to get into a deeper meditative state. But what happens is your body absorbs the frequencies that it needs and it requires in that moment to assess and kind of push your healing a little bit forward. And so what happens is you absorb those frequencies, and for about 72 hours, those frequencies continue to work through the body.
Oh, wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yep.
okay.
Hmm.
I, we talk about sound bowls. It was 3 years ago, a little more than 3 years ago. I was invited to just this meditation thing, and a friend
Hmm.
friend hooked it all up. I just went, had no idea what I was getting into, and it was a cacao ceremony where they use
Okay.
pure chocolate from the tropical rainforest, supposed to have, a little bit euphoric properties or just allow you to
Hmm.
just kind of relax and chill. Um, they started the session by striking a sound bowl. I
Hmm.
had never heard one in person.
Yes,
Will never forget that moment.
I
It
bet.
oh my gosh. It just one bowl. Boom. It
They
felt
really are life changing.
I felt like a hurricane went through my body. I was like, whoa. And that was it. They didn't do anything else. That was just to signify, all right, we're starting
We're
something here.
starting.
Amazing. And now I
Hmm.
get it. And I always understood music, frequency. I'm an audio geek. I mean,
Me
equalizing
too.
sound and everything and all of
Hmm.
that. I get it. I got it. I didn't I didn't know I could translate that to helping us heal. Um,
Yes.
how do you decide what frequency, let's say in sound bowls, or they call it a sound bath?
Hmm.
How do you know what frequencies or what instruments to hit depending on that person?
I just really kind of let my intuition navigate that style of healing. So I'll start off with playing these, the bowls for the seven main chakras. And then from there, wherever my spirit leads me, that's the next instrument that I'll pull from. So whether or not it's someone who I feel like is having a hard time and I pick up that they're having a lot of resistance, I'll kind of move to the gong. Somebody who might be very sensitive to sound, I may use tuning forks where I find the specific meridian where they're having some blockages or maybe they're having some disturbances in their health. And I'll use a tuning fork straight on that meridian and feed that frequency directly into the body.
Hmm. You know, you said something before. I just want to put a little spotlight on that. The energy of the sound
Hmm.
is going to go into the body where it
Right.
needs to. And it's my understanding that Reiki, energy healing, just doesn't use
Hmm.
sound, but it uses somebody who's been trained to send off positive energy. It's my understanding it's the same thing. They're throwing the energy out there. Your body's going to take what it needs and it's going to go within the body or the chakras where it needs to go.
Correct. In Kundalini, which I am certified in Kundalini yoga, we call that Tantra. So there are many different names that you can call frequency healing or energy healing.
Hmm. Um, what other ways do you help people when it comes to we identified frequency and sound here?
So we use sound here. We use somatic, so breath and movement, yoga. I offer a service called Tray, which is tension and trauma release exercises, which kind of turns on this primal tremor mechanism within the body. So you are at that point healing yourself plus your lineage behind you because we are made up of 14 generations, us and 13 behind us. We
Hmm.
also use here in our office, we use massage therapy, we use healing through nutrition, we use EMDR, sand tray therapy. So we actually have many different forms of healing modalities within our center.
Lineage 14.
Yeah, total. Yep. You and
Uh,
13 behind you. So we
I never.
come here with a nice long load of baggage. And,
Right.
typically, like they like to say, the black sheep of the family gets to typically unpack and heal all that. So a lot of those people are who wander my way.
Um, I'm still processing the 14.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yep.
And I don't know if I shared with you 2 months ago, I did my first ever past life regression.
Yeah. You had told me a little bit about it. Very interesting.
It really, really
Hmm.
was. And
Yeah.
I get it. It's kind of woo. I get it
Oh,
that how do you really know what was coming up during the regression was real or your mind was just making it up? All I'm going to say is the emotions I felt, they were real.
absolutely.
I was crying for a reason. It's why would I? Unless it was real in another life.
Hmm.
Okay. 14 though? How, why 14? Why not 17? Why not 12?
I'm not really quite sure, but it's definitely 14. Our DNA strands are made up of our 14 generations, which is 13 behind you, and you being the 14th one. So, I mean, that kind of goes into your culture, your traditions, your lineage, your family, your heritage, even down to the land that we live on.
That is mind-boggling when you think of the stuff we deal with on a daily basis. You brought it not intentionally. It comes with a package.
Right.
All that stuff. Like I talk about the emotional backpack. When we got stuff going on, we throw it in the backpack and like zip it up. I'm gonna deal with it. After a while, you're gonna fall backwards because the emotional backpack is so heavy. Now put 14 lives in that thing. Oh my gosh.
Right. When you put 14 lives and you put your great grandma and all those people in that backpack and all the things that they went through or all the things that they held in and didn't go through, or actually, I should say, didn't handle and didn't deal with, your backpack, that emotional backpack, gets really heavy.
I'm honestly going to tell you that I feel momentarily depleted. And just like after hearing that,
Well, it kind of validates and confirms maybe why a lot of people feel the way that they do. When
hmm,
you start to unpack these things and they start to present themselves and come forward to the surface, that bag gets a lot lighter and you become a lot freer and you're no longer bound
yes.
to your trauma.
In the work that you do, 14 lives now, it's a
It gets
lot.
intense.
How how much of that can you address?
So it depends on the person. So each person, and I'm going to use Trey as an example because that to me is my most phenomenal work. That is my life's purpose. You will release things without everything coming to the surface. So your body tremors, you are in control of the practice the whole time. But there are certain things that come to the surface that you're going to feel that you actually need to face because that's a pattern that you're still currently involved in and engaged in. And a lot of people don't even realize it. But they'll have things that will come up, memories that they completely forgot. And it's like the light switch comes on. And we address them in that moment and then we let it go. And sometimes I'll send the people home with a little homework of some kind of like self-care, some kind of self-love for themselves. And then come back again and we do it all over again. And we just kind of take it day by day, sometimes moment by moment, because sometimes it is a lot and it can be overwhelming.
Well, here I'm fixated on 14, but think of it this way, though. Not every one of those lives had emotional or challenging baggage, traumas, might have skipped a few, right? So it's not always 14, maybe
Well,
it's 10.
I would like to say it most likely is going to be
I'm
14
trying to
because
vibrate
I know
higher
you
here,
try.
Lindsay. I'm
I
trying.
know. But what happens is it's a lot of the programming. So
Yeah.
like our parents and their parents and the parents before them, we kind of all do the same thing without realizing the trauma that we are creating within the children or the next generation to come. So, what happens is it's for you to decide and you go, no more. This is not going to work for me. So, it stops with me and it ends with me. And when you begin to heal, it begins to change the direction of the lives and the generations to come next.
So as I understand it, once let's say there's a thread,
Okay.
between you all the way back to those 14 lives, whatever that thread may be, pick any challenge, sadness because of insert word, whatever it is,
Hmm.
that I'm going to try and verbalize this. Where you work on it now, it's almost as if, you see in a cartoon where they pull the rug and everything on top of the rug, like, and is it like doing that, the lineage line, when you work on it, now you're eradicating it from the past and also for the future?
Correct. It's exactly like that because a lot of people we're taught to sweep things under the rug and let's just keep moving forward and pretend they don't exist. Well, that rug's going to get really thick. And how many times do you want to trip?
Yeah.
So eventually, when you pull that rug, it's like letting all of that go. That rug is no longer there in your way, standing before you, creating a wall. And you can allow the wall to come down and slowly unpack the things and address the things. And really, it takes us to feel those things so they can move through us and we can let them go. And frequency and sound kind of helps you to feel those things and to move those things through you
So
and
you
out.
you said the word somatic a few times, and I heard it
Mm-hmm.
a ton of times. Somatic breathing, somatic writing,
Mm-hmm.
many other versions of it. Define that word for us.
So, somatic to me is tapping into your nervous system. So,
Okay.
when you do somatic breathing, you're tapping into the nervous system, allowing that nervous system to reset because your nervous system will get stuck. You can be stuck in either fight or flight or fawn, which we call freeze state. And it gets stuck and it operates at that. So, it takes some breath, some movement, some writing, whatever it works for you. Um, to allow your nervous system to reset so you can begin to heal, so you can begin to slow down. And then it kind of gives you a different outlook on life.
Somatic breathing, probably one of the more popular versions of something somatic.
Hmm.
What's the difference between intentional breath work, not just breathing, but really
Right.
being intentional, deep breaths, box breathing, as they say, versus somatic? What's the difference?
There really isn't any.
Okay.
So to me, pranayama, which is breath work, and somatic breathing, they're the same thing. It just depends on the style that you're going to do. So some types of pranayama, somatic breathing, would be to fire up the body. So say you're sluggish and feeling tired, you may want to incorporate some breath of fire into your day to kind of get you going. Maybe you're feeling a little fiery inside and you need to kind of calm yourself. Then you would go to like box breathing, or maybe breathing only through the left side, which we consider the feminine, softer, the yin side of the body. So maybe you would take your breath through that to allow your nervous system to settle and reset. So it just depends on what it is that you need. What are you looking for? To me, somatics is a calming, as to where maybe your breath of fire is an energizing.
So you mentioned TRE before,
Mm-hmm.
which stands for trauma release exercise.
Yeah.
Can you give an example of what an exercise, basic might be?
So it's not technically like a ton of exercises. What it is there's up to 7 steps that you do. You do these 7 steps to turn on this tremor mechanism within the body. And it allows the body to kind of shake and tremor to release these patterns that are stuck inside the muscles. It releases the emotion. All at the same time, you are rewiring and resetting your nervous system. It can also work on physical trauma. So if you have had like an injury, you can offer TRE sessions to someone who is maybe needing to like redo some muscle structure within the body. So you're in control.
You said it's your favorite.
It is.
Why?
It's my favorite.
Why is
It's
it so
the most
impactful?
deep. It's because it's just so profound to me. It's so primal. It is very interesting. But a 15 to 20-minute session of TRE is equivalent on the brain to a year of talk therapy. So it is very fast moving. It creates a lot of small energetic shifts in that one session that equals to one very large shift.
Say that again, the connection, the comparison through
The comparison to TRE. So you have one session of TRE. It's going to last anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. I kind of watch over you and decide, how much you can handle, because it can bring up some big emotions for you. But one session, 15 to 20 minutes, is equivalent on the brain to a year of talk therapy. So think of talk therapy as a dripping faucet. It has its purpose. It has its place. And think of TRE as like your fire hydrant.
Hearing that, sign me up. It's like,
right?
And nothing wrong with talk therapy as a place for it.
No, there is a place for it. I mean, people need that space to be able to conversate and get, some people don't feel like they can use their voice and they have trauma around speaking up. So some people need talk therapy.
Totally.
It's a doorway. It's a doorway.
Yeah. And we need to express. That's what we do. We communicate. You can also do that if you nail down journaling to release things. If you don't want to talk with somebody, but the TRE thing, oh my gosh, that is just very powerful.
It's phenomenal. It really is. It's very phenomenal. And look, the people that come to me, they are the people who don't want to talk about their trauma over and over and over again, because the body doesn't know the difference of if you are going through that trauma in that moment or if you're just speaking about it. Your body is reliving that same scenario and that same story over and over and over again every time you discuss what's happened to you.
And that's also the beauty of even sound healing.
Correct.
Just lean back, enjoy the music, so to speak.
Relax. Yes.
Relax. Yeah. Thank you for all this insight. Wow. Yeah. Learned a lot
We
today.
love what we do.
And it shows. How do we, and you've got a great team with you there at the Metamorphosis Healing Arts Center. I love the way that sounds, healing arts. It is an art.
Well, that's exactly what we do. We have many different arts here in the building. And, we don't take a one-size-fits-all approach, especially for myself. You sit in my chair, we discuss what it is that you need, and we come up with some certain protocol. And I may have an idea of what we're going to do that day when you come in, but you come in and you sit down, and I may have to take that plan and put it to the side and just kind of meet you where you are.
Well, therein lies your intuition of being able to read somebody and see where they're at they may be in a different place than they were a week or two ago, and you have to
Absolutely.
tailor it. What's the best way to find you?
So metamorphosishoma.com, or we are on Facebook, Metamorphosis Healing Arts Center. So you can find us at either place.
I love your energy. I love your passion
Thanks.
and your fresh approach to all of this. And
Yeah.
I truly believe, thankfully, that collectively, our society, we're hungry. We're hungry for something else to help. I don't want to go to the doctor and get a pill again.
No.
It's not the answer. It can be for some, but
Right.
there's more going on there. And this is nothing new either.
No, this is ancient body wisdom. And that's
Exactly.
really what we're bringing and offering at the surface and at the core of our work is ancient body wisdom.
This is how they healed back then.
Yep.
And the way it should be. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for today, Lindsay.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll talk soon.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.